Mitchell Darts, he says, nothing beats he actually says, nobody beats Leeds 9 times in a row. Cass probably done in by the occasion, but thought we executed brilliantly at times. Jack looked like a 200-game veteran at the back. Defence held up. Lucky breaks with Cass errors. Cometh the hour. Cometh the Danny Maguire. Absolute perfect way to send him out. Amazing performance.
There you go. Mal Carmatios had a slightly different opinion. He said, shit game. Well, that makes a mockery of the playoff system. This is why Stud and many tapes take the piss. 10 points clear and Cass are not champs. Sorry for Cass and Tyler. One crap game and kaput. Leeds know the way to win at the death, but this cannot happen again. Conference/pool system needed. Hashtag Free Catalonia. Hashtag Spanish bastards out.
Dr.
Might be getting his wish if you were watching the news this evening.
Well, it's pressing conversations to be had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Bob Phillips just said, oh, Danny Maguire.
Very good. Tyler Cass fan says, happy for Leeds, especially McDermott, Maguire and Burrow. Good game plan to kick long and pressure Cass in their own 20 and blunt any quick attacks that have been the hallmark of our season. Cass don't adapt to the conditions, instead trusting themselves to put on the plays that win games and entertain the fans, but the error count says it all. We'll be back stronger.
Neil McEwen said, Leeds played good wet weather rugby. Cass, however, were like trying to wank with your left hand. Uncomfortable and no end product. I think it all comes down to Zach Hardaker, as Cass lost their link-up out wide and lost Eden's abilities on the wing. Luke Gale was utter shite tonight, enough said.
Okay, Tyler Maggs fan, and I will not be singing this, says, oh, Danny boy, the tries you're scoring, the drop goals and tackles you made too. Oh, Danny Maggs, I really, really love you. Oh, Danny Maggs, don't go to Hull KR, please. They are really, really poo.
Frogmore says, bottleless gits, I can't spate.
Very good. Josh Hamilton said, not many people were expecting that. Leeds in the mood.
John.
Pardon?
John.
What did I say?
Josh.
Did I say Josh?
I don't know.
I said John.
Alright, start again.
Well, we'll listen back to that, won't we, now, and see which one of us was right. Sure, someone will tweet it. John Hamilton said, not many people were expecting that. Leeds in the mood from kickoff, and Cass looked like they were overwhelmed by the occasion. Not a great game due to the conditions, but Leeds dealt with them better and worked more scoring opportunities. Feel for Cass, so dominant all year. Still, all this season's Tigers fan can get their Leeds shirts out of the drawer again.
Joshua's granddad said, an anticlimax after the semis, masterclass by Maguire, we'll still hate him in the morning. Think the Hardaker affair screwed with Cass more than they expected, still never understand why anyone plays Eden at fullback, total garbage.
Paul O'Brien 1976 says, a game too far for Castleford, Cass just didn't seem up for it, they looked nervous early on. Leeds' big game experience paid off and the best team on the night won.
Mark Butler said, the grand final is rarely about razzle-dazzle and often about experience, and both of those things favoured Leeds. Despite that, I can't reconcile what we saw from Cass tonight to what I expected. They really were terrible. It's the cheapest of cheap shots to call it a bottle job, but I'm not sure how else you explain it. Them not even being able to keep the ball in their hands. Well done, Leeds.
Very good. Colin Render says, 8 matches losing to Cass in a row doesn't matter now. We won when it mattered. Danny Maguire is a Leeds legend and has finished his Leeds career on a high. He and Rob Burrow have been a credit to Leeds and Rugby League. Good luck to both in the future. Hashtag 1 in a row.
DG Knight said, oh dear, the conditions did not suit Cass, but both teams had the same. Well done to Leeds. They did what they needed to do and made the season's dominant side look very poor. Still a good year overall to be a Cass fan. Roll on 2018.
Richard Wilkinson got in touch and said, now then, lads, I started to drink at 4 p.m, so had 12 hours on the pop before kick-off. What a win, what a club, what a true champion team. I'm just gutted we didn't nil them. There was a lot of tears as I spoke with friends and family. This one meant a lot. We controlled the game and played the conditions. Cass were like a rabbit in the headlights, but credit to Cass, who are a great club. We got our trophy back, marching on together.
Spoiler, Rich has helped me out with the song to play out the show today.
Oh, has he? Fair enough.
Tyler Rhinestones said, we beat Leeds 8 times, we hammered them 66 whatever, we beat them 4 times this year. They only beat us once, 8-1, that's better, right? It doesn't matter that they are the true champions. We have a posh sandwich plate. We play pretty rugby. That makes us champions, right? It doesn't matter what Maguire played Gale off the park. Champions rings off of girls. Oh, Cass aren't champions. That will be the Rhinos again 8 times.
Wow. Fair play. A lot of people hopping on this Tyler whatever bandwagon.
That's Rich, that one, isn't it?
You've got to think so.
Straight in after.
Maybe so. Rich Langley, another Rich, said that's what makes the difference between good sides and championship sides. Leeds played the game they needed to and kept Cass on the back foot all game. Have to say big game experience was shown to carry a lot of weight, which while not being of much consolation to Cass now, will stand them in good stead for 2018 and beyond. Will still be Hull's year though.
Cutthroat Jake said, now then lads, what a day yesterday was. Starting from the mildly moist podcast loving at the Dockyard to the sodden final, it was one high after another. It was great meeting Tom, Mark and the lads before heading off to the match, and what a match it was. Leeds may not be as flashy and dynamic as they have been in the past, but what they had this year was the attitude of consummate professionals. Has there ever been a final that was more one-sided? Even with Hardaker, I'm not sure Cass would have had answers to the questions Maguire posed them. My commiserations go to Fat Boy Rob and the other Cass fans who expected different results, but now your team have experienced a grand final and have seen firsthand what is needed to win one. I can see 2018 being their year.
Right, Roger the cabin boy got in touch and said, with the ball imitating a bar of soap in a prison shower, Leeds performed the basics to near perfection, slowly and surely grinding out the victory. Their defence never let up and they played the elements perfectly, strangling the would-be expansive Cass attack and isolating Gale to the point where he was little more than a fart in a storm.
Lee Randall said, Leeds played the conditions a lot better than Cass. You could say Castleford probably had their worst performance of the season, but still it was a positive night for the sport. Selling out Old Trafford is a step in the right direction and I can't wait for 2018 now.
Lee Whitnell said, Tigers in decline. They went and bottled it. What a crying shame. Cass beat Leeds 8 games in a row, humiliated them in March, but in the one game that really counts, the Rhinos showed their pedigree. Well done to them. It was a frustrating game to watch and won't go down as a great final that we all hoped for, which is a pity. Good to meet up with Tom, Mark and the other members of our SLP cult before the game though.
Tim G Radio said, Zach Hardaker is not worth 18 points. On a rugby field, not sure about on a licence. Greg Eden, clearly the world's best fullback, we all knew he was. Glad that Burrow and Maguire were able to bow out like that, as fitting for two excellent players to leave Leeds playing fantastic rugby. Stevie Ward, determined and sheer grit, was rewarded.
The Hodge said, this one is for you, Fat Boy Rob, # once in a row. In all seriousness, an unexpected win. I don't think the TV showed just how wet the ground was, and that caused both teams to change their style of play. Classy Cass stopped throwing the ball about and lost confidence, and the Leeds experience took advantage.
Paul Mac _78 said, nerves, the weather and Zach Hardaker were all against Cass in this one. I felt most of the 50-50 calls also went against Cass, but reality is they saved their worst performance for the grand final. Dropped way too much ball, kept trying to play expansive when the weather wouldn't allow. Maguire played the conditions perfect, easily man of the match, and had me thinking about putting him in my England squad. I hope Cass come back stronger for this.
Sarah Kenzie says, another occasion where the hype of the greatest match up ever imagined fell flat. Still, some of Leeds' play was very good. They controlled the game well and Cass failed to respect the ball.
Fat Boy Rob said, well, that was a load of shite. Leeds did a job on us and taught me I should listen to my elders and betters, in brackets the Hodge, when it comes to the big day. I don't. Hodge is younger than Rob.
Yes, it is. Rob's taking the piss.
Is this something I've missed? I don't know what killed us. Was it the pressure of the occasion, one too many recent dramas, or the fact that Leeds have been really good all along and have been robbing their fans by not trying all season? Only against you, Rob. Whatever it was hard to watch. We were taken apart by a bloke older than Joshua's granddad, and we even managed to make Carl fucking Ablett look like a world beater. It was okay for 5 minutes, but not taking an easy 2 points was arrogance bordering on stupidity. After that, it was all downhill until the glorious last minute. At least we weren't nilled. Oh well, just England World Cup glory to look forward to. Scratch that, I've just in the squad.
Yeah. Paul Ludo Lewis, Zach Hardaker, very good, owes every Cass player and fan an apology. He overshadowed the build-up to the biggest match in their history. The match was a typical case of the old masters schooling the young upstart, with Danny Maguire rolling back the ears to show consummate Gale face. how it's done. Although Dermot can fuck off with his darky style of comment. They had one season in the middle eight sandwiched between 2 grand final wins, the knob.
Perspective from witness there. Dave Lawrenson said, really poor quality game to top of a poor quality season. Yes, I'm a bitter Wigan fan, but that game was dross. Even Wigan could have beaten Cast tonight.
So that's saying something. Okay, Rod Hutchinson, lovely to hear from you. Rod the Lakes Rhino says, unbelievable. Never looked like losing. A fantastic atmosphere. Most happy for Brian McDermott. The stick he's taken, that one's for him.
And then simply Sergeant Arthur Wilson says, rather brilliant, all Leeds away.
There you go. Well, that was a pile of feedback, Mark, wasn't it? And it befits the game, because whilst it wasn't high quality perhaps on the field, there was plenty of drama in and around it, and in the result, and in watching it unfold, almost kind of from between, like, that you couldn't watch it at some points. It was not cringy, but you felt bad for how badly it was going for Castleford, and there was a story there and drama there, if not quality, wasn't there?
I remember you saying to me on about 55-ish minutes, was it? When was the second Leeds try scored? I remember you turning around and saying to me, yeah, but Cass haven't had that spell yet where they score 3 tries in 15 minutes. And I just said, like, I don't think that spell's coming.
Well, no, you didn't think it was going to, did you?
Yeah, that was about, it was about between 50 and 60 minutes that was. And then Briscoe got his second try to seal it. I think to sort of flow through things kind of quickly and pick up on some of the points that people have raised, I suppose. A lot of people are saying about, bottling or not playing the conditions right, or the occasion overwhelming them, or the conditions being against them, or what have you. I think the point is Leeds adapted to the conditions and didn't play how they normally play. They weren't obsessed with just getting quick play of the balls from backs exiting to then allow Parcell to do something, to then allow forwards to have space to offload and stuff.
Yeah.
They used all the forwards as if they were Mitch Garbutt, and they used, like, they just really did work as a unit and slow it down a little bit. They made the odd dummy half error, but not as many as I was expecting in the conditions. They reverted to a kicking game. They reverted to giving away penalties on their own line when they had to. All those sorts of things that win you big games in bad conditions. Whereas Cass didn't think about the conditions. They're not going for 2. Whilst on the second play after that, Jake Webster very, very nearly scored a try. Like we're talking a foot from the try line. The point is they didn't score tries. They had opportunities in that first 10 minutes around that penalty. They had another penalty as well not so long after. I think there was a chance for a break when there was a knock on both ways. There was loads of stuff that could have come up for them and they just couldn't get it done, and they didn't make the right calls to rein it in earlier so that when the game pushed on, they didn't have to do things. And what you did get is you got 2 or 3 players not playing with the same level of confidence, either because the combinations were mixed up or because the conditions weren't very good to play rugby in, and they were behind on the scoreboard, and they were feeling this pressure. So all of those things added together are what went wrong here for Cass. I don't think they bottled it. I don't actually think they didn't execute very well, but I don't actually think they were so awful, because they were still in the game. And if you look at the tries, Leeds scored tries from kicks, 2 of which were errors off the back of kicks by Cass. They scored from a forward pass. They scored from a very marginal, whether Matt Parcell was offside or not, in the build-up to the Eden drop Maguire first try. And like a little bit of a scrambled try from Maguire. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Leeds because of all the great things they did to control this game. They didn't need to score 4 tries to win this game. That became evidently clear as the game went on.
But they were fine margin tries.
Exactly. And that was what was going right here. Every fine margin was in Leeds' favour, be it a penalty be it a knock on when it was a strip a couple of times in that first half, be it Danny Maguire reaching in and punching a ball out of Greg Eden, poor carry by Greg Eden after a great set-up play at 6-0 that came. all these little things, they pushed it just a little bit better and hit it just a little bit better because they were playing a little bit more within themselves.
Yeah.
And they didn't, like I said, they didn't need 4 tries to win the game. I really kind of feel like that second drop goal was a bit of a piss take, but you can't begrudge Danny Maguire that.
No, absolutely not. Slotting one over in front of that many of his fans.
One of the most dominant performances I've ever seen in his career. One of the most dominant performances I've seen by a player in a grand final as well. I would say, and